Today on Payrunner Pass, we're checking out the brand new sequel from Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed 2. Now, the first title had a lot of things that really annoyed many gamers, including myself. The question is, does the sequel remedy the problems of the first? Well, it's time to find out. Assassin's Creed 2 picks up right where the last game left off. You're in control of Desmond, and you're broken out of the Abstergo labs and moved to another location to drop back into the virtual world and once again discover the secrets stored in your DNA. The reason for re-entering the Animus this time around is to learn how to become a master assassin himself in the real world. Desmond is now in control of a new ancestor, the assassin Ezio. Ezio was an assassin in Italy in the 1400s, and this is the character that players will be controlling throughout the game. Assassin's Creed 2 utilizes a lot of the same basic gameplay mechanics from the first game, but really puts a polish and adds more of them. The game runs much smoother than the first, which was a big pain while in combat in the first title. There's much more for players to do in this sequel, as the developers have added in a lot more mission types and a variety of side quests as well. You know, I found myself getting way off course in the main storyline because I was too busy with all the side missions that the game provided me with. Assassin's Creed 2 has a nice selection of new weapons and armor for players to use while assassinating their targets as well. Hammers, small daggers, throwing knives, and even a gun at one point are all just a small sampling of the new weapons available. The game rewards players with cash as missions are completed or by having players find hidden treasure chests throughout the different areas in the game. Players can then use the in-game money to upgrade armor and buy new weapons. Players should be forewarned as well that Assassin's Creed 2 is a very story-driven game. Many people were turned off by that in the first game, but I have to say that this time around, the story is really quite good, so quit hating. Assassin's Creed 2 looks great. It's amazing to watch each of these levels load up when you start a new area in the game, or when you synchronize your map perched high above the cities. The character models all look much better this time around, and the character animations are stellar. There's so many different ways to assassinate enemies this time around, and all of the animations that show you doing so are completely badass. You really feel like you're in Italy in the 1400s playing as an assassin. It's quite amazing.
From Padua does wonders to a man's balls, yes?
Now, one of the biggest complaints I had with the first Assassin's Creed was the voice acting. It was abysmal, not convincing at all. Luckily, this time around, the voice acting is at least sounding somewhat credible. I mean, I can believe these guys are Italians.
I meant besides vaginas.
Mother.
Sure, why not? Or at least voice actors playing Italian. You know, it's a good thing too, because I mentioned before that this one has one hell of a story behind it, so the voice acting has to be stellar. It's also worth mentioning that the soundtrack in this game is really well done. I mean, you really do feel like you're in Italy in the 1400s when you're playing this game with the soundtrack going in the background. It's good stuff. This is one of the few things about this game that I don't like. The controls are really finicky. I mean, most of the game has you slinking across rooftops, clambering up the sides of buildings, or walking across thin platforms in very high places. This is all accomplished by holding down the right trigger and then pressing the A button to enable free run. I had a hell of a time getting this down. For the life of me, no matter what I would do, it seemed like Ezio had a mind of his own and would jump wherever the hell he wanted, which was usually to his death. It took me a long time to really get the controls down for this part of the game, and the learning curve is just a little too steep for my tastes. Combat, however, is really simple and easy to control, so I don't know how the hell things got so skewed for the climbing controls. Kinda weird. Assassin's Creed 2 is a shining example of a good sequel. Ubisoft took the things that didn't work and either got rid of them or fixed them. They took the things that worked, they polished them, they added more of them. The game has a boatload of replay value for completionists with hidden treasure chests and collectibles strewn about the different cities. And I would have to say that if you liked the first game but finished feeling like you need a little more, Assassin's Creed 2 is right up your alley. This one is a pay. By the way, if you guys want even more game reviews, head over to machinima.com and check out the new review section. See you next time here on Payrunner Pass.